Today we'll be finding the frequency using histogram. So the question says the table gives us information about the hours easy air pilots have spent flying in T hours. So we can see our y-axis over here shows us the number of hours that's been flown by pilots, and on the x-axis we have the time flown by the pilots, and on the y-axis we have the frequency density. So if you remember the equation we had for frequency density, we can use the same equation to find the frequency. So if we had the triangle, the frequency on the top, the frequency density, redraw that, the frequency on the top, frequency density times the class width, CW. So that was our triangle over here. So if we want to find the frequency, all we have to do is do the frequency density times the class width, whatever is on the x-axis times whatever's on the y-axis. We can really find the frequency of any given number. We can find it for 75, 250. It doesn't have to be exactly where the bar finishes, each of the bars. So the number of easy air pilots flown under 50 hours, we just have to measure 50 from the 0 to 50. We have to see how much area does the bar cover under 50 hours. That's on the y-axis is 0.24, and that's the rectangle we have there for the area of that bar. And when we work it out, we would do 0.24 times 50. But before we do that, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we'll be finding the frequency using histograms, and the question says the table gives us information about the hours easy air pilots have spent flying, the hours, so that's on your x-axis, all the pilots times that they've been flying, axes, and on the y-axis you have the frequency density, as you can see. So it says find the number of easy air pilots that are flown 50 hours, under 50 hours. So we can really use the frequency, the triangle, the equation we had in the previous lesson. So we can do frequency times class width, and when we have this triangle, we can easily find the frequency density by doing frequency divided by class width, but this time we'll be finding the frequency. So all we have to do is the frequency density times the class width, which is the y-axis times the x-axis. So any time number of hours that you want to find, you just have to multiply the area that each graph covers. So going for the example, we're going to have the first one, which is 50 hours. That covers this much in terms of the x-axis. In terms of the y-axis, we only have one bar to take into consideration, so that gives us a nice rectangle, and all we have to do is just multiply 0.24 times 50, and that gives us 12 pilots. So 12 pilots flew under 50 hours. As for the next question, he asked us for 150 hours. How many pilots flew under 150 hours? We have to take into consideration all the area that the graph covers under 150 hours. We got the graph, I named it the rectangle A, which is the first bar, and that's 100 by 0.24. We can just put that out here just to have a look at it closely. And then we have another rectangular shape over here, longer shape, which I called shape B, that has a dimension of 50 hours by 0.24 frequency density. We can put that out there. So all we have to work out is the area of shape A and shape B. The area of shape A is 0.24 times 100, that gives us 24 pilots, and area of shape B 0.42 times 50 gives us 21 pilots. And in the end, all we have to do is just add these two figures up to give us the total number of pilots that flew under 150 hours, with 43 pilots.